video. Will help you for revision this video. I will share it later with you. Okay, so I'm recording the lecture. So what we have during this course, this is the content of the course. Today we will give introduction to object-oriented programming. We will speak what's the meaning of object-oriented, what's the meaning of a class, what's the relation between object and the class, and so on. Then next week also we will speak more about the classes, how to create the class, how to initialize the objects of the class, and so on. Okay, I know it's some new terms for the new students, except if you're repeating the course, then it's not a new terms. But if you first time you take object-oriented, then it's a new terms like class, object, what's a class, what's an object. We will mention everything. Then we will speak more about issues related to class, like constructor and how to draw the classes using UML. It's important for us to know the class diagram from UML, because in the exams, usually we will give you some diagrams about the classes so you can program it. So you have to understand the diagrams. We will mention it. Then we will speak about some concepts related to object-oriented, like encapsulation. Encapsulations means encapsulation, like cover something, yes? It's hiding the data, cover the data to protect it from outside. Exception handling, also we will speak about it. Exception handling, what's the meaning of exceptions? Exceptions from English language. Okay, so special things or error, because the code is running smoothly, then some special things disturb the program. That's why we called it exception. We have to manage, handle. Handle means manage, take decision. What we will do in this special occasion, in this exceptions. Okay, we will see how to use it in Java. Then we will take some other concepts related to object-oriented, like static methods. What's a method? You take programming 1 and 2, yes? Yes, we have in C language functions, yes? Functions in Java, we name it methods. So method, it's same like function. Function in C language, in Java, we name it method. So method means function. Some special keyword like static that related to methods, we will mention it. Special type of classes, which is enumeration. We take enumeration in programming too, yes? In Java, we have also enumeration, but it's like a class, not like a data type. In C language, it's like a new data type, yes? So in week 6, we will take some special methods, okay, like this method, this. It's have same meaning. This what? This object of the class that we use it in this place of the code. We will mention it when we reach it. And another special method, which is toString with some examples. Then we will speak about having more than one class and some relations between a class like inheritance. What's the meaning of inheritance? Okay, you inherit some properties from your parents. Okay, take something, inherit. You know, I think in Turkish and in Arabic language, it's same word, which is miras. Yes, this is the meaning of inheritance. So we have two classes. One class take everything from another class. So this class, we name it child class, and the other class, we name it parent class. So child class inherit, take everything from the parent class. Everything except some points that we will mention it on its time. It's still week 8 or week 9, okay? Okay, another concepts from object-oriented, which is polymorphism. You have a chemistry course, yes? You heard about polymers and so on. What's the meaning of poly? Okay, means many. Yes, many things, many. Yes, and morph also from chemistry. Morph, that shape. Yes, so this means some things that have many shape, many form. Okay, this is the meaning of polymorphism. So in polymorphism, we have same method could be used in many ways. Okay, we have two types. We will mention them: overloading and overriding. I know it's like speaking Chinese with you now because you don't know all these terms, but we will come for all of these terms one by one, inshallah. Abstraction, especially we will speak about interface, the interfaces. Interfaces, it's special type of classes that abstracted. What's the meaning of abstraction? Okay, if something have extra bars and you remove all these extra bars and just keep the main things, this means abstraction. So it's type of classes that we remove almost most of the data and we remove the body of the methods and we keep only the abstract methods, the name of the methods and so on. This helps us for reuse the code. We will mention it, inshallah, later. Okay, until this one, we will be almost finished all the terms of and concepts of the object-oriented. We can give extra things from Java itself, from Java programming. Of course, we will apply all these issues using Java programming language, okay? But the main concern for us, what? Object-oriented. Object-oriented concepts. But we apply Java programming language because it's object-oriented programming language. You can apply same concepts for other programming language. For our course, we apply it for Java because Java one of the most important programming language currently, before that and currently. Okay. We will take some issues from Java, like a framework called Java Collection in week 11 and 12 almost. This Java Collection, let me ask you, in C language, you take the linked list and array and how to sort the linked lists, how to sort the array, how to search, how to reverse, how to traverse or get data from the linked list. All this needs a lot of codes, yes? In Java, we have a framework called Java collections that help us to do these issues quickly. You need invitation to enter the class, or someone have to open the door. You don't need to knock the door. Okay, friends, two things that I don't like in my lecture. And the two things, it's related to disturbing us. First one, if you come after me, don't knock the door. Don't knock the door and don't say salam. Don't wait invitation to enter the room or someone have to open the door for you. Okay? Just enter the room, have a seat without even say salam, without of course, you miss your friend and you enter the room and you want to speak with your friend. This is a second rule. Don't use your mobile. Don't speak with your friend. I don't mind if you want to use your mobile. Go outside, use your mobile, take your friend with you, discuss your life and your business outside. And when you finish, drink your coffee also if you want. When you finish, come again here. Doesn't matter for me. All of you, it's not kids, okay? You are adults. You know your, accept that attendance because it's not from me. It's decision by the university. So before that, I don't care about attendance actually. But now we will speak about attendance. Okay, this is the Java collection. So Java collection, it's a framework that have many classes, interfaces, and methods that help you to manage the data easily. Create lists, create arrays, array list, and sort, search, and so on, add, delete data quickly without creating a lot of codes. Last subject, until now, we put this subject, and until now, I'm teaching here in Karabuk University for 4 years. Until now, we never reached this subject. Yes, Your Majesty, Bird. I have to write this rule in our Telegram group and pin it so everyone knows. Don't knock the door, don't wait permission, don't say salam, don't say anything, just enter the room. Okay, graphical user interface in Java. If we still have time at the end of the semester, we will take it. If we don't have time, we will not take it. Even if we take GUI, graphical user interface, it will not include it in the exam because our main concern here, object oriented. So graphical user interface, it's not important for us. Okay, so as you know, attendance, it's compulsory this semester, must be. So you know the rule. 5 times absence. If you did not attend 5 times, then you will not be able to join the exam. Of course, don't come and discuss with me about the attendance. It's not my decision, and I cannot make any exceptions. Okay? you need exceptions, you can discuss with the department, with faculty, dean office, with the rector. This the top management, they take the decision, we just follow the decisions, okay? About the evaluation, we have 3 parts here. Midterm, which is 40%, final exam, which is 50%. And we have not really a project, maybe 1 or 2, let's say homework, okay, like a homework assignment to do it, creating some small program or programs, which is 10%. Okay, so the main issue here, we have to understand what is a class, what is the object, what's the relation between a class and object. Then we have to understand the concepts that related to object-oriented, like inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. And of course, we have some other concepts that related to these concepts, okay? For example, polymorphism, what's a type of polymorphism? We will speak about 2 examples for it, like overloading, overriding, and so on. So we have sub-concepts that we will mention it. Okay. What is the class? What is the object? Why object-oriented is important? Okay, we have programming language that not object-oriented, like C language, that you study it in programming 1 and programming 2. Why we need the object-oriented? What's the difference between that one? C language, by the way, we name it procedural language. What's a procedure? Or procedural-oriented language. Procedure means function, okay? Means function. The main idea for programming language that is procedural programming language, like C language, it divides the code into functions. And we focus only on what functionalities we need, and create for each functionality function to do this job. Yes, this function to calculate the GPA, this function to print some data, some messages, some information, this function to do X, this function to do Y, and so on. But in object-oriented, we focus on objects or entities. What's object or entities? Anything in the real world around us have data considered as object or entity. Like you, what's your name? Omar. Omar as a student. Okay, as a person, maybe have different data. As maybe if he work in another place, he have different data. But Omar as object, as a student, he have some attributes, some data, like what? Like his name, Omar, like his student number, like his major, computer engineering, and so on. So Omar is object. We could have another object. What's your name? Roxa, it's another object as a student. She have the name, the student number, marks, and so on, different than Omar. So we have 2 different objects here, Roxa and Omar, and maybe Sami, maybe Ali, maybe Murad, and so on. So every one of you as students is an object. This is the object. Objects come from our real world. Okay, then what is a class? Okay, if we ignore the data, we take just the attributes. Omar have name, age, marks, major, and so on. Roxa same, Ali same, Sami same, Murad same. So why they have same attribute? Because they are students. So this template, regardless the specific data for each object, it's the class. So the class is the template for the objects that have what attributes we need for this objects, or for objects that have common attributes, same attributes. So as a students, a class, okay, we could have some data for student. So we start the class by the word class. Okay, to say that it's a class. And then the name of our class here, student. Okay. Now we don't speak about the student Omar, student Roxa, student X, student Y. Generally, it's the template for the data. What data we have? We have, for example, string name. We have, for example, integer student number. We have, for example, string major, and so on. So the class, it's like a template, the blueprint that has a description for the attributes for data. So our main concern is the data. The method is to manage the data. So we would have functions like, okay, get name. It's to return the name for us, for students. So it's return like any function in C. Okay, the name of the function. If it's return data, we write the type of the data. If it's not return data, we write void. Yes. So get name, it's give us the name of the students. Return the name of the students or outside of the return what? String, because the name of the student is string. So what I need from this function, just give me the name. So it's return the name. We could have another function to manage the data, like set name. What's the job of set name? Read string from outside to the name of the student. So it's not return any data. So it's void. You know the functions in C. If it's return, you put the return value. If it's not return anything, you put void. So same like C, but it's this function we need parameter from outside, which is string, for example, n. We take string from outside and string inside the name of the students. Like this, we read data from outside. Okay, using this method to read the same n and put it for the name of the student. Okay. This basic, we will return for it many times and we will. So what's this? It's like template for the data of the class or of the objects from the same type, which is students in our example. and some methods to manage this data, some functions to manage this data. In the procedural language, we don't think about data. We think about functions. Okay, so we create functions. The code it's divided into functions. Then what we need data for the functions, it's okay. But in object-oriented, we think about the objects from the real world and what attributes, what data we need for it. Then the method is to manage this data. Okay, so it's more conflicting our real world. We have many objects around us. For example, the classroom itself, it's object. Okay, this class, it's number 150. We have another class in front of us, 170. We have another class here, which is 151. Okay, 151, and so on. Each of these classes, its objects have its own attribute property. Okay, this class, it's number 150. It have, for example, I did not count, but maybe it's 26 or something desk. Okay, its capacity, for example, 100 student. The other one, 152, I think. Next one, it's bigger, so its capacity maybe it have maybe 32 or 34. Disk, its capacity around 180 or 200, and so on. But when we want to create a program, a code to manage the classroom, to manage the students, to manage, we will say, okay, we have a class, which is the classroom. Okay, each classroom have these properties, which is the number, the capacity, number of desks inside it, and so on. Okay, then how to use the class? First, to use the class, we have to create object from the class. We will mention it by examples later. Okay, but this is the main idea of what's the difference between a class and object. So the object, it's instance, it's copy from the class. Like if you have a project, construction project, you bring some civil engineers, and they will draw what? Some engineering diagrams for the building, the distribution of how many levels the building, in each level, how many apartment we have, and in each apartment, how many rooms, the distribution of the rooms, and so on. Then you give it for the constructors. What they will do, they will create first building from this engineering diagram, second building, third building, fourth building. Each building object, it's created from where? From this template, from this engineer diagram. The engineer diagram, the template, it's the class. And each building, it's the object. It's created from this engineer diagram or this templates. Okay, so this is the idea. Student X, student Y, student Z. It's the objects. Its data belong to the object. The template for this data, it's the class, which is generally student. Okay. No, struct do not have behaviors to manage the data. Yes, inside it. And we have many concepts related to classes that we will take it later. Struct, it's only like a record. It's not thinking about object in C language, okay? But here, when we speak about object-oriented and the classes, the class, it's come from the real world to conflict the real world, have some properties, and these properties have its own behavior, have its own methods to manage this data. Okay? And many things that you cannot apply for structs, you will apply it for classes and objects, okay, using the concepts of object-oriented. Okay, I don't want to speak too much about things that you already take in programming one, like levels of of course, Java programming language, same like C, C++, Basic, COBOL, Fortran, Python, and so on. So I don't want to waste your and my time in these issues. Okay. If you look to most of the modern high-level programming language or languages, you will see that most of it object-oriented. Okay. For example, how many of this procedural, or it's depend on functions? How many language? Only C language. And it's old language, still usable, but it's old language. But most modern programming language, Python, Java, PHP, Perl, and so on, most of this programming language, or all of this, object-oriented. Because object-oriented programming language have many advantages over the procedural. First of all, it's easy to think about it. For the C language, you have to think about the problem solving and what functions we need and how to use this function. In object-oriented, you think about your real world. Okay, I want to create application for the university, to manage the university. What objects we have in the university? We have students. Okay, students, what data they have? They have names, they have majors, they have blah, blah. So it's come from real world. We think about object, then what attributes for this objects, what's the relation between object like a student and, for example, sections, okay? A student register in section belong to specific course. So we have objects, which is students, generally class student. And we have class which is sections of a specific course, and we have class which is course, and all these classes have relation. From where all this idea come from? Our real world. So it's easy to understand it, to understand the relation, to understand what data we need. Then we think how to use this data using the methods or the behaviors. So it's more conflict, our real world, so it's become much easier to think about it. That's why, and have many other advantages, like, for example, we mentioned encapsulation, which is protect the data by make the data inside the class private, and any other class from outside this class cannot use this data except in the way that we need others use this data. We will mention maybe after 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Another issue, reusable. Okay, almost when you think about function in C language, if you want to use it again, you need to copy the code, you need to change the code, and so on. In Java, for example, as object-oriented, if you created a class before that, you can reuse the class. Okay, I need more functionalities. Okay, you can inherit the class and add more functionalities. So you reuse the class and added more functionalities. Okay, I need to, we have a class X. I will use it in another program, but it has some method, but I need to use it in another way. You can override it. You can have your own methods that have same method from the other class. It's override its job, make the job in another way. But maybe in another program, I will use it same. So you can reuse the code many times. So it's make it easier to create new programs from some other or previous packages and the classes that you already create. Okay. You know the compilation and interpretation from programming one, yes? What's the difference between compiler and interpreter? Okay, good. At least in this section, we have one who knows the difference. In the morning, no one answered it. Okay, so compiler takes the whole code, convert it to machine language, then run it. Yes? So if the code have any problem, any error, the compiler will stop you. Yes, because it will check the whole code and convert it to machine language, then run it. Interpreter interpret the program using something called interpreter. It's executes the code line by line. Take it line by line. Okay, I have many lines of code and this line have error. If I did not reach this line or did not use it that have error, the interpreter will not stop you because it's take line by line and run it or execute it. Okay, why we mention it, this? Because the question here, Java use compiler or interpreter? Guess. You will not know. You will not know. You will not answer it correctly. Both of them. Both of them, he answered it correctly. Java use compiler and interpreter. The idea like this. I will go forward, then I will return back. The idea like this in Java about compiling the code. I will return for this in detail, okay? The idea in Java, when they create Java programming language, they think about something called portability. You know what's the meaning of portability? Okay. Portable means it can be used in many places. Okay. If this program portable means it can be used in any operating system. For example, if you have application in your mobile and your mobile using Android, you can use same application, same code, same application exactly in iPhone. No. Even as a programmer, when you create your code and you want it to be used in Android and in iPhone, okay, you have to create two versions, one for the Android, one for the iPhone. Okay, same issue. The program.exe, it's run inside Windows, yes? If you take this program to Mac, it will not work. You need a special edition for Mac. So this program not portable. But if you have a program or software that can be used in Windows and Linux in OS X, which means Macintosh, in any operating system, this means this program is portable. Okay, so if we will compile, if we will use only compiler for Java, so we have to compile it to machine language, yes? So machine language depends on the operating system. So we have to compile it especially for Windows or especially for Linux or especially for Mac. But Java has something in the middle. We have compiler, Java compiler, takes the source code, the Java code, and compile it into not machine code or object code, which is machine language. It compiles it to something in the middle called Java bytecode, which is a file dot class. If you check your computer, if you check even when you in some websites, in some applications, you could see dot class or dot jar in some cases files. Okay, this Java bytecode, this is something in the middle. So you compile, but you did not get object code, which is machine language code. You get dot class code, which is Java bytecode. This dot class code, you can use it in any operating system, so it's portable. Okay, so first part, it's compile the code into Java bytecode, dot class code. Then this Java code can be run by any operating system that have something called Java virtual machine. This interpreter, Java virtual machine. So it will interpret the Java code into something can run using the operating system. Okay, why it's portable? We still need Java virtual machine because all the operating system have Java virtual machine. Okay, so it can be run using almost any operating system. This Java bytecode. Okay, so this is the idea why Java have compiler and interpreter. Compiler to compile the code to Java bytecode, interpreter, which is the Java virtual machine, to run the code in the operating system. Okay. Okay. Why Java? We know it's object-oriented programming language. We said the first point in Java, it's portable, so it can work on different platforms, Windows, Mac, Linux, and even in mobile devices, different mobile devices or handheld or any small devices. Okay, smartwatches, mobile, and so on. Most of these devices and the platform, Java can work on it. It's open source, so you can use it for free. You can download it and use it for free. It's simple. Okay. Some people see it as it's not simple, but you will see that if you master the idea of, okay, we have classes, how to create classes, what's the relation between classes, how to create object, you will see that it gives you more functionalities in simple way. Okay, it's have huge community, millions of developers, billions of devices run Java actually. It's object-oriented, so it's have all the functionalities and the concepts of object-oriented. Like it's easy to understand it because it's come from the idea of object from the real world. It's reusable. The code is reusable because the classes that you create, you can reuse it, and so on. Okay, first of all, to run Java code in your device, you should have Java. You can download the Java from for free from oracle.com because it's belong to Oracle, or you can Google it to check if you have Java or not in your device. You can go to command line, okay, run cmd, then you can check if you have Java or not using Java dash version. You will see the version of Java if you have Java, okay? So as you can see in my device here, I have this version of Java, and this is the date of the version, which is 16th of July. Okay, it's a new one. We have this version. SE means the standard edition. Okay, the free version, it's a standard edition. We have EE version, which is enterprise edition. Also, I think it's not for free. It's have advanced functionalities that not needed for most of the people. Okay. Okay, so you need to install Java to your device. Then you need to download and install IDE for Java. What's the IDE? Integrated Development Environment means the editor that you will create Java code. Actually, you don't really need IDE. You can create Java code using Notepad, WordPad, any text editor. But IDE, for example, like this one, like NetBeans here, I'm using NetBeans, will make that programming much easier for you, of course, because it allows autocomplete, creating the projects and connect the codes and so on, and run the code much easier. For me, I'm using Apache NetBeans IDE version 2022. In the lecture note, you will see that here it's old version. I think it's not exist anymore, which is 8.2. I'm using 22 now. It was belong to Oracle, but now it's this IDE belong to Apache. You know Apache, yes? It's a famous company, yes. Apache server for web. It's very famous. If you working on PHP or something like this, you will have Apache server almost. So how to download it? Just Google it. Okay, we need Java IDE. You will see that we have many choices, many Java IDE. Okay, for me, I'm using this one, NetBeans. It's a free, almost most of IDE, it's a free, okay? Some people like to use IntelliJ or this one. For me, NetBeans, it's complete one and have most of the functionalities that we need. So I prefer NetBeans, but it's up to you. You can use anyone, any version. Okay, most of the IDEs, it's free. Okay, let's create our first program. So the idea of creating programs in Java, the programs consist of classes. you could have at least one class, or more than one class. You could have hundreds or thousands of classes in your application in one file or in more than one file also. And you can use it as a package if you have more than one file, and you can connect between the classes in different files. Okay. Java likes C language in one matter, which is the code running start from the main method. C language, it's start from the main function, and Java, it's start the run from the main method. Okay, so we must have main method in Java, yes? Like this. Okay, but we said method cannot stay alone like this. The main content of the code, it's the classes. So the methods and the data, everything must be inside the class. So we will create class, for example, class anything, for example, class ABC. Okay, so this is the start of the class, this is the end of the class, and the main method is inside the class. Okay, but the main method in Java cannot be written like this only. The main method in Java must be written exactly same like this. You cannot miss any one of these keywords. Public, static, void, main, with parameter which is string array, its name args. Why? Because everyone have different job. Okay, we start running the code from outside by calling the main method, yes? So anything that you need to run it from outside the code, it must be public. Okay, that's why it must be public, the main method. Okay, why it must be static? Because if you want to use method from any class, first you need to create object from the class and use this object to call this method. But from outside the code, we cannot create object from the class, the main class, then call the main method. We need to call the main method directly. A static keyword allow us to use the main method directly, because like this, it's not belong to specific object when it's static. It's about memory management. We will mention it maybe after 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, so it must be static because I need to use it directly without create object from the class. Okay, void, you know it because it's not to return anything. Main, it's the name of the main method. And what about string, array of string, args? Args means argument, because we run the code from the command prompt here. We could pass some parameters from outside the code. If we want to pass this parameter will be stored here in this array, args array. Later in the code, we can use it as array, yes? First parameter will be at index 0. Second parameter will be at index 1, and so on. We will not use it, but I show you all this idea. Actually, we will create only first program using Notepad and run it here. But after that, we will use IDE directly, and we will run the code from IDE. So Main method must be public, static, void, main with parameter as array of string its name args. If you did not put public, you will have error. If you did not put static, you will have error. If you did not put void, you will have error, and so on. Okay. Okay, we can save this file using any name, except if the file have a class with public access. The class could be public or default. Default like this, without any modifier. And public like this. Okay, what's the meaning of public and default? We will mention it later. Simply, to make it simple, public, you can use it from anywhere. If it's not public, the class, this means you can use it only inside your program, inside your package, not inside this file only, any file inside your program. Okay, you can use the default one. If you make a class in one file, you have only one public class. You cannot have two public class, only one. So if I have another class here, class X, it cannot be public. If you put it like this, public, this will be error. You cannot have two public in the same file. Yes, but if you have two files in your program, we will see that we could have more than one file. Each file could have one public class at least. Okay? Okay. What's the name of this file? We could name it anything.java, yes? If it do not have public class, could be any name.java. But if it have public class, the file name, the file itself name must be same as the public class. So the public class here, its name what? ABC. So the name will be abc.java. If you did not name it abc.java, you will have error. For example, let's name it, for example, aa.java. Now we have the Java file as AAA. Let's compile it. How to compile it? You have to be in the same place. We saved it here in C Java. So I will go to that place. Okay, CD Java. Now, if you said dir to check what files you have, we have what? aaa.java. This is our code, yes? Let's compile it. How to compile it? Java C means Java compiler. Space, the name of the file, aaa.java. And we will have error. What's the error? You can read the error. Error, a class A, B, C is public. Should be declared in a file name abc.java. So the file name must be same as the public class. Okay, what if we have two classes? Doesn't matter the order. We could have another class, class X. What's the name of the file must be here? X? No. It must be ABC. Why ABC? Because the public class here, ABC. If you save it as X, also error. Okay, let's compile Java C X dot Java. Error. What's the error? A class ABC is public. It must be in a file name ABC. So the file name must be same as the public class ABC. So the file name must be ABC dot Java. The extension is Java. Save. Now let's combine Java ABC dot Java. Yes? Java C. Not here. Okay. ABC dot Java. And we will get error message also. See, we have what? ABC.java. Yes, correctly. We compile it, but we will have error message. We write everything correctly, but we will have error message. You know why? Because it's case sensitive. Java language is case sensitive. Okay, maybe the computer is not case sensitive. ABC, small letter or capital letter doesn't matter. But Java don't look to the file name here. It's look to the what? The class name. So it must be A capital. A, B, C. Now it's compiled correctly. You will see that it's compiled correctly. We will have, where is it? ABC dot class. This is a Java bytecode. It's generated after we combine. Now this ABC dot class, we can take it and go to any device and run it. What time our lecture must finish? Let me check. Sorry, and we cannot take a break. Yes. 11. Instead of 10 minutes break in the middle, we can go 10 minutes early. Okay, because it's 1.5 hours. It's do not need the break in the middle. 1.5 hours actually. Okay, we can take the break at the end, not in the middle. So around 11, inshallah, we will finish. Okay, so now let's complete our code. What we need from our code to print, for example, hello world. Okay, so how to print in Java? Printf, yes. This in C language. But the print in Java, it's system with S capital letter dot out dot print line. Then you can print. Why it's too complicated like this? I will tell you. I will tell you why it's all this. Because everything in Java has classes, yes? And all the methods, to use it, you have to use it through the class or the object from the class. And all the classes organized in the libraries inside packages. So here we have the name of the package, which is system. Here's the name of the class, which is out. So go to this package system, go to this class out, then you will find the function, the method, which is print line to print. Okay. In IDE, it will be simple. You can write s out and then press tab, it will write it completely for you.
Okay. We like 2 lines. Print line and then print all the lines, or just the first line?
You mean you can make it, you can, like C language, you can make another line. Okay, you can put with dash slash. I could not find it here. I'm not used to use Turkish keyboard. Unfortunately, here my laptop have Turkish keyboard. Where's that slash? This one here. Which one? 7?
Yeah.
Not 7. Alt? Alt? 7. It's not working. Anyway, slash n, you can go one line down, you can write after it. Okay? Okay, let's save the code. We have to compile it again. Then we can run it using Java. Then the name of the code A, B, C. Of course, it's case sensitive. If you write A small B, C, it will not run. We run its print hello. Okay. Between what? Method and function, same idea. In Java, we called it method. No. In Java, method means function, but we name it method in Java. Okay. We mentioned it. We have 3 versions of Java. Okay. We use usually the standard edition, which have most of the capabilities needed for desktop and server applications. The big enterprises, big companies could have the EE edition, which is enterprise edition. It's have more support for networks and distributed systems and so on. All the small devices like smartwatches and PC players and mobiles and so on, it's a small edition, which is Java Micro edition. Because Java have too many packages. If this is small devices will have the standard edition, or enterprise edition will be heavy for this small devices with the small functionalities. So there's micro edition for this small devices. Okay, I think I mentioned all of this. I don't want to return for it. Again, let's repeat this parts. Object and the classes. What's the object? What's the classes? Okay, and what's the instance? Okay. Shortly, the classes, as I said, it's so okay, right click and okay, the class, it's like the blueprint, the template, the engineering map that describe what attributes and behavior we have. Okay, like when we said generally buildings, not the specific building, generally buildings. Okay, we have many shape of buildings. All of this have how many levels, lengths of the building, the area, and so on. Dogs, okay, as you can see, we have many types of dog, but when we said generally, the dog class means that, okay, the dog have breed, name, color, and so on. This is the general attributes, the template. But when we speak about a specific building, means it's object. Okay, when we speak about student Ahmad, this means it's object, a specific one. When we said students have name, it's the class, it's a template, it's general. So when we said we have Empire State Building, so it's object from the class building. It's have specific data. Okay, what's inside this Empire State object? It's instance, means copy, instance from the class. So the relation between the class and the object, specific objects. So to use the class, you must create instance. You must create copy. You cannot use the class directly, which is copy object. Why? Because there is another issue. Before you create instance, the class, it's not in the memory. You cannot use it. Anything to use it, it must be in the memory. When you create objects, the object will be in the memory. Then you can store data and retrieve data from it. Okay. So this is object, class, and instance. Last 5 minutes, we will take example. Okay. This example, we have two classes. We have the main class, it's named here Java Application 1. It has the main method. Okay, and we have another class which is dog class. It's have attribute like breed, age. Breed means the type of the dog. Okay, German Shepherd and so on. Integer. Age, and we have string color. We have some methods like bark. What's the bark? The sound of the dog. Yes, not park. Park the car, but bark here, the sound of the dog. Hunger, sleep. We can take some methods. Okay. If we want to use this class in the main method, first we have to create object from it. Let me write the code directly and show you what I mean. Okay. I will create a new project. Okay, if we have like this, we open the NetBeans and we want to start our code, we will create a project. It's Java project. We can give the project any name. For example, project 1 for group 1, group 2. Okay. As you can see, we create a project and this is the main file in the project. As you can see, if the file name project 1 gr2, the main class here, what? Same name, because it's public class, same name here. Project 1 gr2, here project 1 gr2. It's a class name. You can name it anything, actually, the class. It's up to you. And we have here the main method. We don't need, it's auto-generated here. We don't need this code. Okay, I will create another file in my program. So my program now will have two files. I could create everything in one file, by the way. But to show you that we could have in the package, in the program, more than one file. Okay, so we have this, the main file, and we will right-click new Java class. Then we will create our class. We name it dog. Okay. As you can see, we have another file. Now we have two files. Another file, it's named dog, and it's have public class dog. So dog. Why? Because this class is public. Okay. Let's write some attributes here. We could have a string, for example, string read, integer, age, string, color. Okay, so I created 3 attributes. I could create some methods, some function to manage this data. For example, set color. This method is to take color from outside. So what's the color? It's a string, yes, string C. And inside this method, I will take this string C from outside, and I will give it, of course, this method is void because it's not return anything. I will take the color, this color, yes, color of the dog equal this C, this color that comes from outside, from the passing parameter. Okay. I will have another method, void bark. It's only will print. It will print s out tab, then it will write system.out.println. By the way, in the exam, if you write instead of system.out.println, if you write only s out, it will be okay for me. I can accept it. Okay. So the dog is barking. Okay. Now the question, last issue. How to use this class dog inside the main class here. For example, I want to call this method set color to give color for specific dog. Look, we said for a specific dog because we could have dog 1, dog 2, dog 3. Each dog have different color. Okay, so I cannot say, for example, here's a method which is set color like this, and give it, for example, a string which is, for example, black. Why? What is set color? Okay, it's a method. You are calling method from where? Belong to whom? The compiler cannot see set color inside this class, so it's belong to another class. To which class? Dog. Okay, so I should write dog like this? No. Why? Because dog, it's a template, it's a blueprint. This color belongs to which dog? Maybe for dog 1, maybe for dog 2, for dog 3, for dog 4, for dog 5, for which dog? So before you use the class, you have to create object to set specific object from this class, then use its method and its data. Okay, so first of all, I have to create from dog, like creating from any data type, from integer, from string, you create variable. We have to create object from this class. So class dog create dog1. Okay, like this, it's correct, not error. But we cannot use dog1 because it's not in the memory. To be in the memory, the object dog1, so we create dog1 from dog. To be in the memory, we have to use something called constructor. We have to write exactly like this. A new, then call a method that have same name like the class, dog. What's this method? Okay, now we can use dog1 as object. Why? Because we used a new dog. What's this dog? It's a method, have same name like the class. Methods that have same name like the class, we name it constructor. You must use constructor when you create the class, the object from the class. Okay, where is the constructor? I cannot see method here. It's named dog. You can create it if you want. If you did not create it, Java will take something called default constructor. It will create it by default for you. Okay, now we can use dog1. We can say dog1 dot okay, dog1 dot set color. Okay, black. Dog1 dot for example dot bark. Okay, you can even use the attribute. You can say dog1 dot age equal 14, for example. Now run, you don't have any problem, and we have only one printing, which is come from bark. The dog is barking. So this is the idea for the object and the class. To use the class, we must create object. Let me take the attendance and we can go outside.